The Detroit Lions travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers on Sunday. Detroit's installed as a 1-point favorite on BETDAQ. 47.5 is the total in this game. The Lions now 6-3. They've won 3 out of their past 4 games. They sit all alone atop the NFC North, but they haven't been dominant by any means. Their last 3 games have all been decided by 3 points or fewer. They struggle in the secondary, 27th in the NFL in pass defense, and we know the Pittsburgh offense is built around that passing game. Ben Roethlisberger lost some weapons in the offseason. Mike Wallace now playing in Miami. Heath Miller missed the beginning of the season. He is back now. But Roethlisberger has found his footing, as have the Steelers. After losing their first 4 games, Pittsburgh now sits at 3-6, only 2 games back of the lead in the AFC North. So if they can beat Detroit at home on Sunday, they're still right in the thick of the AFC playoff race. Now, the Steelers are an interesting case, especially on defense. 2 weeks ago, they allowed 55 points, a franchise record, to the New England Patriots, a New England offense that has been underwhelming this season. They were just torn apart in that game, and because of that, many people now think they have a bad defense. Just yesterday or the day before, I was on ProFootballTalk.com, which is, of course, a major NFL news site, and they had a headline saying, Steelers have a bad defense. It's something like, I might not be quoting it exactly, but Steelers have a bad defense, but Lions are still wary. And the article was about, it was an interview with a couple of Detroit players saying how they still have respect for the Pittsburgh defense, a lot of veterans on that defense and things like that. Well, I thought that was interesting. Steelers have a bad defense. If you remove that New England game, they have a top 5 defense. Heading into that New England game, they were top 5 in the league in both total defense and passing defense. And last week, they returned to playing great defense in a win over the Buffalo Bills. They really suffocated that Buffalo offense. Now, hey, I'm not saying the Buffalo offense led by rookie quarterback E.J. Manuel is comparable to Tom Brady and the Patriots. What I am saying, though, is calling the Steelers a bad defense wouldn't be the whole truth. Now, I guess you really couldn't call them a dominant defense either. They just allowed 55 points 2 weeks ago. And that performance made me a little gun-shy on this team. I was backing Pittsburgh +7 in that game, and I was surprised and sort of frightened off by what I saw out of that defense. Frightened off last week, that is, when every fiber of my being told me to back Pittsburgh as a short home favorite over Buffalo, but I stayed away because, again, the Steelers had burned me the week before, and I didn't know what to make out of that defense after seeing them against New England. But listen, I'm back to thinking that was a one-week aberration. Now, I recognize the Detroit Lions offense is a lot closer to New England than they are the Buffalo Bills. As a matter of fact, Detroit has been better offensively than New England this year. Detroit, a top 5 passing offense once again. Calvin Johnson, the best wide receiver in the NFL. But I don't know. The Lions, I don't believe they're quite as good as their record would indicate. And I think it's a good matchup for the Pittsburgh offense here. A Pittsburgh offense that, by the way, has been playing a lot better recently. A lot of people still think Pittsburgh has a bad offense based on what they saw early in the year, but you look at the stats now, they're top half of the league in total yards per game. They're 11th in passing offense. They've scored 54 combined points over their last 2 games, so Pittsburgh is an average offense, not a bad offense, and Detroit has a bad secondary. I like the Steelers here. I like the Steelers +1, also lean towards under 47.5.